Hi, I'm Trish Osmond. I've done a recording with Keith Andrew. Lovely guy. Thank you very much, Keith, for the chance. Tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 79 years old and I live in Germany, born in England, and an actor. And I've thoroughly enjoyed being with Keith, and I just hope that everyone else enjoys his work as much as I do. Okay, great, thanks.
The whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so prove them you can still amount to something.
I'm 79 years old, okay? When I was 2.5, I was on the stage in a children's play my mother had written, with words I had to speak and everything. And then I decided all I ever wanted to do all my life was be on the stage. So when I was a child and a young teenager, my father was into amateur dramatics and I was always there. And then my parents, I did drama, I did ballet, I did voice training, but my parents split up and my life fell apart. And I married at 18 and, that was it. And I did nothing. But I still dreamt my whole life. I'd be in the kitchen, I had 3 children. I'd be in the kitchen cooking a meal for the children. And I'd imagine there was a TV camera there filming me doing it. And I was I was the cook, the TV cook, and I'd be showing the camera how to do it. I mean, nobody knew this. They never knew what was going into my brain. I'd be in the garden digging, and at the same time, I'd be saying to the camera, this is how you prune a rose. There's no camera there. It's just my dream. Then we came 35 years ago. I moved to Germany because I speak fluent German. And that's another story. I moved to Germany with husband number 3 because I finally found someone who'd come with me. and eventually I joined an amateur dramatic group in the British Army and had a wonderful time. And then I retired. And then the British Army left and left me there on my own just over 10 years ago. And I thought, oh, what am I going to do now? I've got no theatre, I've got nothing. So what do you do nowadays if you've got a question? You Google. So I Googled, how do you be a TV extra in Germany? So I started off as a TV extra just over 10 years ago. And now I'm doing Hollywood films. I mean, it's just wonderful. I get people recognize me on the street and stop me in trains and I've got autograph cards which I hand out on trains. It's just crazy. But I mean, yeah.
When you said the army left you in Germany, and he can say anything, he can curse if you want to. Did he say, oh, those assholes left me here?
Well, I did a bit, yes. I did a bit. We're still all in touch with each other through Facebook. I love Facebook. But no, I mean, the British government, obviously, they couldn't afford to keep so many soldiers in Germany and shut down the barracks. But yeah, I didn't let that beat me. I started off, I said, doing really crappy film extra work. You see me crossing over a road 100 yards away, and that was it. And they've been hanging around all day waiting to do that. But now they know who I am. And another thing is, my name is Patricia, but I call myself Trish, and I'm the only actor called Trish in Germany. So I can phone up an agency anyway and say, "Hi, here's Trish." And they know who it is.
No, it's a great name.
I couldn't do it in the States or in England because there's lots of Trishes, but only one in Germany.
That's true. There is a popular former wrestler named Trish Stratus, so I guess you'd be in competition for the name.
Well, that's right. I can hold my own. I did judo till recently. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so the important thing is although I'm a little bit overweight, although my doctor tells me I'm not, I mean, I've always watched what I eat and not smoked. Okay, I drink a bit. I mean, who doesn't like a gin and tonic? But, that's nothing stupid.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I have a fat neck. My brother likes to tell me I have a fat neck.
No, it's no.
No, but eating healthy, it's amazing that eating healthy is really expensive, but you can buy and not actually eat crap, but you can buy a bag of crap like Doritos or something, and it's really affordable. But it's kind of like, but if you want to eat healthy, it's a couple $100.
Well, I've nearly always had a garden, which probably explains why my children are nearly all vegetarians because they were brought up on homegrown vegetables. But I mean, I eat meat. If you give me a nice fat steak, lovely, thank you very much. But I do eat a lot of vegetables,
Yeah,
good vegetables.
you would think this is funny. My grandfather used to have his own garden. He used
Mm.
to grow tomatoes. So we used to joke about, we used to call him Popper. I mean, say, oh, no one beats Popper's tomatoes. He has big tomatoes. Looking back on it, it's kind of like we shouldn't have phrased it like that, but
Well, yeah. Yeah. No, I've got a big problem at the moment. My peach tree in my little garden here is full of blossom, beautiful. It's looking lovely, but the bees haven't woken up yet, so I won't get any peaches this year. I'll probably be out there tomorrow with a paintbrush, painting them and trying to dip myself with a paintbrush. But it's not the same.
well, it is kind of early. It's still March.
Yeah, I know, but it's covered in blossom. We know we're in the middle of Europe, so it really shouldn't be here.
Well, one next question I want to ask you is what attracted you to begin your career? You mentioned you moved to Germany. So that's two questions. What made you move to Germany and what attracted you to begin your acting career?
Well, I think the acting career I always wanted to do from the time I was 2.5. 2.5 on the stage, and that's it. My father was loved amateur dramatics. In fact, my parents met through amateur dramatics, and that my mother had written the play I was in. And he did a lot of Gilbert and Sullivan, Mikado, and stuff like that. I don't know if you know that, but anyway. And I was always, if I could get on stage as a street urchin or a page boy, I was always there, always hanging around backstage. And I always wanted to do it, but then I couldn't until, as I say, until I started again about 20 years ago in Germany with the British Army. But why I came to Germany is a bit of a strange story, really. It's one of these things. I was born in 1944, towards the end of the Second World War. And apparently, when I was about 4 years old, the war had been finished in a year or so. I said to my mother, when I'm big, I'm going to live in Germany. And she, well, you want to live in Germany? I mean, all we knew about Germany was they dropped bombs on us, you know. So anyway, when I was 11, I went to a really, really good girls' school in England. The really, you see the films and them all in the uniforms and all in the that sort of place, you know. You even had to wear the right color underwear. I mean, it was really strict. And in the first year, you had at 11, the first year of school, you learned Latin. And in the second year, all the girls in the set were all brought together. There was about 60 of us in a big room, and into 3 groups, 2 big groups and 1 small group. That big group will learn French. That one will learn Spanish, and that little group in the corner, you'll learn German. Now, and I just happened to be in that you'll learn German corner. If I'd been sitting on the other side, I'd have been in the you'll learn French, and I hated learning French. I had to do it because I was good at German, but the German, I knew it already. I was always top of the class. I just fell into it like a fish falling into water. I just knew it. Which is very strange. And then I from the time when I was about 19 to when I was 45 and came back to Germany again, I never spoke a word of German. My first husband wouldn't allow it, and I hadn't forgotten it. I got off the plane in Hanover and I still spoke it fluently after sort of nearly 30 years, which, I mean, it doesn't happen. I mean, is this reincarnation, or what is this? Where's this German thing come from? I just feel right here. My 3 kids are here. 2 of them are married to Germans. One's married to a Dutch woman just over the border, but I mean, still only half an hour away from where I am, And I've got German great-grandchildren.
It's funny, well, there's 2 things. Robin Williams said, you ever wondered, he went to Germany and he made some jokes. It's like, why is there no German comedians? Maybe you killed them all. And the German woman went, no, nine.
There are some good German comedians. I mean, it's not like the British but the British, of course, are the best. But I mean, isn't it? But there are some good ones. In fact, one of the best ones I know is Palestine. He lives in Germany, born in Germany, but he's Palestinian and he is brilliant, which at the moment is a bit, yeah.
For me, I like my ancestors. My grandparents were Jewish, so
Uh-huh.
but maybe that's why I like gold. I know, bad joke, but but I like German Shepherds, but my dad doesn't want anything, my mom too, for that matter, does not want anything to do with Germany. But we do
Understandable.
have. What was You're gonna think I'm an idiot for asking this, but what was the good side? Was it East or West?
The good side was west. The east side was with the Russians.
I would be good. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, you can say the Russians took over the east side, but the west side was free.
Because my mom has these teacups from the west side. And I thought you said you didn't like Germany. Yeah, but I like these teacups and they're really nice and they're valuable. I'm like, well, make up your mind.
Yeah. And my families, I've traced my family back to 1324. But amongst other things, the ship that went over, the second one after the Mayflower that came over with the Pilgrims, the second ship, my whatever she was, grandmother was on that ship. She was 12 years old girl, and the captain of the ship was her uncle. So I've got they finally then went to Canada and came back over from Canada. But I've also got Native American blood.
Oh, nice.
Very well diluted, but it's in there.
For me, I'm part Jewish and a little Polish, tiny bit of Russian, and nothing to brag about. But being a part Native American, and that's really interesting. Well, I'm gonna go back to this question. You said you had family that was on the Mayflower.
Yeah, the ship after the Mayflower. I can't remember the name of it. Apparently, there's two or three went across. Mayflower was the famous one, and then this one, my whatever she was on the second one.
There's a funny, if you're okay with it, I'd like to tell you the funny joke. That's it. If I have your, oh, if you're permission, I'd like to tell you a funny joke.
Yeah, please do, please. I love funny jokes.
There's this movie. I think it's Liam Neeson, and Liam Neeson did this fantastic actor. He's
Yeah,
wonderful.
absolutely, one of the best. Yeah,
And I think it's Snowpiercer or something, but he did it for you know uh, shits and giggles. But
yeah.
there's a line where a bunch of Native Americans walk into a restaurant, and the woman says to them, "Do you have reservations?" And, and he said, "Did you guys ask a bunch of Native Americans if they have reservations? Where's your manager?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah.
it's a stupid movie, but it's funny. There's a part because he's a police officer in Alaska
Uh-huh.
and he's killing bad guys. So
All
there's a
right. Yeah.
part where Nathan's choking someone. It's like, okay, he's dead. A second goes by, the guy sits up and he chokes him again. It's really funny. If I find the name of the movie, I definitely send it to you.
Oh, please do. Yes, lovely. Yeah, have to see if I can find it on Netflix.
So the next question I want to ask you is, what is your claim to fame? What are you most likely to become famous for?
Well, obviously, I've done some really, really good acting things. Now, I've worked, for example, with Willem Dafoe.
Oh, nice. I love him.
Willem Dafoe found me naked in his cellar.
Uh,
He was hallucinating at the time. The film's called Siberia. And I filmed naked with Willem Dafoe. I think that's quite a that's quite good, isn't it? That usually gets people quite. I've done bits in other films. I've had small parts in Netflix films. Army of Thieves I was in, and on Netflix, and Jojo Rabbit, and A Boy Called Christmas. Oh, yeah.
You like this one. William Defoe was on, I think, Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. They're both great, by the way. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. And William Defoe says, you know what? When people walk up to you and say, you know what role you'd be great as? To Joker. And I'm like, yeah, that's great, but I give off vibes as a sociopath. I would love to see William Dafoe as the Joker.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was wonderful as the Green Goblin. Best Green Goblin ever.
Yeah, he was brilliant as Vincent van Gogh. Did you see him as the painter Vincent van Gogh?
Well, I never heard of it.
Oh, he's absolutely brilliant as Vincent van Gogh. You know who I'm talking about, this Dutch painter who painted
Yes.
sunflowers and things. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you pronounce it because I pronounce it the Dutch way. But yeah, he was absolutely brilliant at that. But he's ever such a nice chap, really, really nice. He was so nice to me when I was lying there naked on the floor.
No, he seemed like a wonderful person. Now, the next question I want to ask you, what were some of the other big names that you worked with?
Well, the film Jojo Rabbit, oh goodness me, with
Don't worry,
well, a
I
boy
have that
called
effect
Christmas.
on people.
Scarlett Johansson was in Jojo Rabbit. She was the main one in that. And then A Boy Called Christmas with Maggie Smith, really big English actors. Otherwise, mainly Germans, who probably wouldn't mean anything to you. A lot of well-known Germans I've worked with, especially in sort of fun shows, comedy. I love comedy, and I've done some really, really good comedy stuff with the well-known German comedians.
No, as long as they're funny, hey, just because I'm Jewish doesn't mean, I'm closed-minded. As a talk show host, if you're funny, I would like to have you on the show, and I always watch things that are funny. Actually,
Yes.
you remind me of this woman in a good way, obviously. Do you ever see I think Mrs. Brown or Mrs. Brownie?
Oh yes, yes, with the potty tongue. Yes, yes.
That's a great show. I like that.
It is. Yes, yes. I love that one. Yeah, but she, of course, is Irish. Mind you, I've got Irish blood as well. So
Did you see the one where she gets the Alexa, but it's an Irish one?
no, I didn't. The
I
trouble is, I can't get British or American TV. I've only got if I go see a friend who's got it and she shows me reruns occasionally, but generally I only got in German TV, and German TV is rubbish. I only watch it if I'm on it or if I know some friends are doing it. Otherwise, I don't watch it.
Well, now I'm curious. What can you tell us the difference between British TV and German TV, or
Well,
especially the news?
German TV concentrates a lot on crimes films and stuff. It's nearly all crime films. But then again, I mean, I did there's a very well-known series of crime films called Tatort, and I was in one recently. I had 3 days work, which was lovely. 2 of the days I was dead, but I'd had a car accident, and they'd take me out the car, and they were laying me by the side of the road, on the grass. And this lovely young policeman who'd got me out of the car came over, and I mean, I was already dead. And first of all, he was trying heart massage, and then the director said, "Do mouth to mouth." And I tell you what, when he put his lips on mine, I haven't had lips like that on mine for a long, long time. I thought, this job is good.
Are you a fan of Family Guide?
Hmm?
Do you like Family Guide?
I've never seen it.
It's funny. I send you a clip. There's two clips I have to show you, but there's a scene where Peter Griffin, it's saying,
Mhm.
I remember the time I was a dead body on CSI, and the two actors are talking, and all of a sudden it's like, I have this freaking itch, but he wasn't supposed to move because he was supposed
No,
to be
no.
a dead body, but
Mhm.
he see a dead body in the back to scratch it.
Yeah. That's I do quite often get to play dead bodies.
So
Yeah.
the next question. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go on. No, you please.
So the next question I want to ask you is actually I'm looking for a good question. Who do you, besides me, obviously, who do you admire, and do you think it's because of that actor you get to do what you love?
Who do I admire? Oh, I don't know. I don't know really. It's very difficult because I can't really say there's anybody here in Germany who I particularly admire. Um, There's a couple of German people who do the talk shows and chat shows and game shows and stuff who are quite good. People like, and you wouldn't know the names anyway. And I don't know any American names. I don't see any American programs, so I can't help you with that. No.
All right. Well, the next one is what are some? Well, you mentioned you worked with William Defoe, so we're gonna go back to that. What were, well, do you keep in touch with William Defoe? And what were some of your career highlights? You mentioned you were a dead body. You worked with William Defoe. You worked with Scarlett Johansson. What was that like?
Well, that's unfortunate. I was only there did one day film, and she wasn't actually there that day. She was in the film, but not with me. The young boy who was the leader in the film, who was actually Jojo, I worked with him, but Scarlett wasn't there. Jim Broadbent is a very, very well-known English actor, an old chap, he's almost my age, and he was in Harry Potter and that sort of stuff. A real English gentleman, a lovely man, and he's won at Oscars and stuff. And we were filming A Boy Called Christmas, and we were sitting there in the sunshine, up to our knees in snow because it was supposed to be winter, up in fake snow, and waiting as usual. Obviously, there's a lot of waiting on a film stage. And sitting there just chatting, and I said, "Oh, I could do with a cup of tea." And dear Jim Broadbent, I mean, he went and got me a cup of tea. I mean, it's so nice of him, such a gentleman. Talking of which, I'm drinking my tea here now as well. Trouble with being English, you've got to have your cup of tea.
No, absolutely. I love a cup of tea. For me, I always thought Harry Potter was Harry, get off the Potter.
I never really got into Harry Potter. It was just I was just a wee bit too old to really. I read the first couple of books, and then I really wasn't interested. When it started getting really weird with all Dark Lords and stuff,
Yeah.
no, it was just too much.
Oh, do you like Game of Thrones?
No, I didn't get into Game of Thrones at all. I didn't watch any Game of Thrones.
I like Game of Thrones, but I like Lord of the Rings better.
No, there again, I no. This is I'm a different generation.
Well, let me.
And not only having German TV. All right, I've got Netflix, I know, but it's just not the same.
Well, let me ask you this question. What is your opinion on American politics? Do you think, I would love to hear your opinion. Do you think Joe Biden's doing a great job? Are you a fan
well,
of Trump?
I'd like to see the Democrats get in, but really, Joe must
Yeah,
step aside and let
he
someone younger
does.
come through. I mean, he really is too old, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. I like the Democrats' politics. I'm sort of naturally at heart I'm a liberal. I always have been, but not under Joe. I just don't think he can hack another 4 years. I mean, he can't hack another 4 months. He's still falling down and forgetting his words and doesn't know who the last president was and stuff like that. No.
No, I agree with you. Look, he got what he wanted. He wanted to be president, but I agree with you. He's not up for it. He just say
No.
thank you for the 4 years and
Mm.
step aside. I want someone else, but I don't want the orange orangutan or the orange Cheeto to take over because he's a complete uber freaking nut job.
Oh, we dread that. Germany are terrified that he will take over. Terrified what will happen in Ukraine if he takes over, because of course that's only just across the border from us. No, we're terrified what going if he comes in. But I mean, who else will Michelle Obama stand up if Biden goes back? Would Michelle come in? Because Michelle would rock it. She'd get it. She'd get the votes.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and there's so many other people. Why? Mick Romney. Mick
Yeah.
Romney was a good candidate, but when well, let me ask you this. Did Hurricane Sandy affect you?
No, we didn't really know much about it.
So it's pretty much a big hurricane. You're not missing anything. But when Hurricane Sandy happened, Mick Romney just disappeared. The best debate, but they're never going to do again, is when Mick Romney was chasing Obama around the States, and he said, "Answer the question, answer the question." And Obama said, "Okay, I will. What's the answer?" You're never going to see a debate that was so, I say, cartoony because they actually chase each other around the stage. You're not gonna see anything like that. But I mean, there's a lot of stupid people out there that say, "Oh, Trump is great. He's
Oh
gonna make
goodness,
things
yes.
better." I think things are going to get worse, to be
Mm,
honest. And
yeah,
I just want, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I want someone young and someone
yeah,
that can do a good job. That's all that
exactly.
matters.
Someone you can rely on.
There was a
Yeah.
video yesterday that I saw, and I'm gonna pass the show over to you. There's a video I saw where Trump was making fun of someone who had a stutter, and it's
Yes,
like, do you really want someone like that as president? Then
exactly.
they showed Joe Biden comforting the person, saying that it's going to be all right. Give me your phone. I know speech therapist. Being a real person. So
Mm,
there's a difference between someone who's imitated someone's disabilities and someone who's making a difference, and that says a
yeah,
lot.
yes, yes. Yeah, because I follow the politics in England a lot, and that just there's no way I could ever go back to England. No way ever. Oh my God, no.
So I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there anything you wanted to talk about? Anything you want to promote? You can ask me anything. I have no cards up my sleeve. This is your time.
No, I haven't anything to promote. I mean, unless anyone in the States wants to offer me a job, that's fine. I'd love to come over and do some work in the States. I really would. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you, Keith. Thank you very much for asking me. I think we pretty well covered everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to part two down the road. But my last question I want to talk to you about. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what made you say yes, and how do you feel now?
Why did I just love talking to people, talking to different people, and the thought that maybe I could help. I mean, I've spent most of my life with people who may be, I don't say disabled or other ways, who had other abilities, because obviously that's very much so. And I just want to help as much as I can. I mean, if doing this is of any help to you, but even so, if just to sit and talk to you, I've done lots of podcasts and things with people, and I've just thought, I mean, like everybody, I just love showing off and spreading my mouth.
Well, I know a lot of producers, and I know they would love to work with you because you do have a lot of experience.
I have a lot of experience and I can do it.
I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. I'm looking forward to part two down the road. And
Okay,
until we
look
meet
forward to it, Keith.
again, talk to
Okay
you
then.
soon.
Okay, bye.